Hey kids, me Johnny Fox here at Snikt. It's 7 o'clock. It's Wednesday. Look what we got here. Look at it. Don't I know you?
Don't I know you?
Haven't I seen that face somewhere before? Didn't you used to? Are you still dating Alan?
I am as
I-
well.
Oh, oh my God, I'm so jealous.
I know
Alan,
everyone.
Alan's super hot, by the way, kids. If you don't know Alan, you don't know what you're missing.
I know. Bloody
Beautiful,
gorgeous.
the beautiful big eyes.
Oh, a dream.
Oh, in jokes. Happy alien photography, boys and girls. We've done this before, but we're doing it again. Uh, when you like and follow and check it out, you'll find Alan. You'll find Alan, and you'll all be as jealous as me. You really will. Anyway, how are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
Ah, yeah, I'd just rather be doing this than doing the job that actually earns me money. I wish it could be the other way around.
Yeah, that is true.
That's all. So I'm a bit tired. But energy. Up for
Energy.
this. This is, do you know, episode 10.
That's mental,
Episode
that,
10,
isn't it?
this, because you were there at the beginning. At the very beginning. And here we are at episode 10. I'm still doing it. People still want to come on.
See?
They're,
See, I told you,
they're
didn't I? I
nuts.
told you.
They're nuts. Anyway, so for anybody who doesn't know, you tell the kids at home a little bit about who you are and what you do.
So I'm Happy Alien Photography. I'm a Rotherham alien based in Rotherham, South Yorkshire. I'm a bit nuts. Um, I do photography and what do you say, like digital editing. So I like most of my work's like surrealism these days because I like to like experiment with uh, themes of spaceships and aliens and landscapes and such. Like just bringing a unique beauty to the world. Oh, and yeah, I just say I'm a bit crazy. I can't really say. You know, my mind's a bit all over the place.
I think that just about covers it.
Yeah.
Um, excuse me. Uh, and since we last spoke, seem to have been, I want to say prolific, almost. You've been throwing out content. I got a lot quicker than when I first discovered you. So do you think is that just the learning curve, like it gets easier, or have you just had a big bolt of inspiration lately, or?
Um, a bit of both really. So I've had that inspiration and like a learning development as well to see what works and what don't work. Um, Obviously my sister has her own t-shirt printing machine, so I thought, oh, maybe I'll experiment with that. And obviously I produced that jumper that you can see on my profiles, and that kind of failed because of the material that I used for the jumper. If you're wanting a good product outcome, you have to have the right material. So that was a good learning curve for me. Um, but if I were to do it in like near to the end of the year, because that's like the goal to start like selling stuff like for my fans, and
Millions and millions of adoring fans
millions.
all across
And
the galaxy.
yeah, um, so it's like I'll either look into either producing them myself, but obviously that's going to cost money, or like find a company that will do quantities at a cheaper price.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to do, to be fair.
Yeah, and then obviously I've got that, and then Pinterest inspired me, and obviously people that I follow on Instagram, um, businesses that do shirts and such, really inspired me to like start on that chapter of Happy Alien. And then obviously beside that, I've been experimenting with prints as well. So I did little small 8x6 prints. They came out great. But it's just finding the right company then again to like actually produce them, because I won't print them out myself, because that's a lot of money for ink. I might as well just do like a big batch full, but the next stage for that is to go bigger. I actually found this company, I can't remember its name right now, that I used while I was studying photography, and they do prints quite cheap. So the next steps is to go bigger and see how that goes for me. So.
See that? Off your phones and into your homes, kids. That's the not that I can do the I can do the advertising. I can do that. I could PR for. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for. I'm not here for me. I'm not here to ride the coattails of the people down there, because they're not down there. They should be up there really, because I'm here to big up these guys, whoever it is, whatever week. It's not about getting likes and followers for me. I don't need that shit. I haven't really got anything to sell. Nobody wants a T-shirt with this on it, right?
Hey, you never know.
Right. So, it's all about these. So, yeah, off your phones and into your homes. Prints, merch, T-shirts, hats. That's what I quite like.
One day, I can't get this quality of bad omens just yet.
But yeah, so big plans. Well, reasonable, achievable goals, which is good. It's good to have goals. And in the meantime, just churning out the art when the inspiration strikes. Yeah,
definitely.
And
definitely.
I mean, if Alan can keep his fingers off you long enough for you to get something done,
tell me about it.
I'm not going to let that go on.
Just so busy, darling.
So that's been good. So you're learning. So you're using new software, or just really getting to grips with stuff you already had.
I would say getting more into the Photoshop, what I talked about previously. When I was starting to get into AI editing and stuff like that, I've gotten better with that. I just can't believe it. It's like how I like put everything together just works so well, and I can like edit about 10 images all at the same time. Like if I just think of something, boom, put it on, and it comes together. And obviously, if it don't come together that I like, obviously I can just go and pick a picture, cut it out, copy and paste it onto it, merge it together, boom, all work. So, but I don't know. I like to mess around as well. Obviously, with self-portraits that I've done since, obviously that's been quite good. Obviously, to get more people to know who I am, like I'm not just a random person behind the camera. But
yeah,
like I said, I just love experimenting and trying different things out. But my next step is like producing merch and prints to make it more physical. It's like it gives you that I can't say it, satisfaction, that happiness, and that you've come to an end goal as well. And obviously, if I get well with that, obviously I can look further and do an exhibition one day.
That would be so cool. That would be cool. And that's entirely it's entirely possible. It's entirely possible. Thinking makes it so. So the power of positive thought, which is easier said than done sometimes. It's not all the comments we get down there are good ones. But you develop a thick skin. You get on with it. You meet the best people and the worst of people. If you're brave enough to put yourself out there, and I've said before, all of you that do this, whether it's the musicians, the photographers, the actors, the artists of any medium, I know people who do really cool shit, but they do it like in private, and there's a small handful of people who they might be willing to show something they've done or listen to something they've done. Those of you, I used to do it in the band, but those of you who put shit out in public, it's always incredibly brave and incredibly inspiring. And I like to hear the stories of how people deal with the reactions, be it online or in real life. I mean, do you currently the best place to see your stuff would be online? Do you dare to read the comments, or do you ignore them, or can you handle any slightly dodgy ones you may get from time to time?
I don't really get negative comments.
Oh, that's great.
Which is like, I mean, my work's just fabulous. Of course, I don't get negative comments, but I get comments time to time from people that I follow saying, "Oh, this is good," and it's like, "Oh, people actually quite like this."
Yeah.
And then you obviously get your spam messages like, "What? How much are you selling your NFTs for? Please message me." It's like, no. But if I were to get a negative comment, you just tend to ignore it because it's like, it's your thing that you want to do, and why should someone's negativity stop you from doing that? It's like,
certainly not. You know what? If and probably inevitably when you get some negative stuff or some outright creepy shit, possibly on the portrait stuff, own it, wear it as a badge of honor. You're kind of getting somewhere. Your reach out there in the wild has kind of increased when some total random, has got nothing better to do with their day than tell you that shit. When I've never tried and never will and can't do anything remotely like what you do. But it's like, in a weird way, you kind of know you're getting somewhere when that starts to happen.
that is true. It's like, oh yeah, your work's actually getting out there for the negative comments, which is really weird. But like I said, I ain't experienced negativity yet. I might do in the future, you never know. But you just tell them to log on, don't you? Really?
Yeah, definitely. Don't let the bastards grind you down. Get on with it. It's good shit. It's good shit that you do. 2 times. Mrs. 2 times episode. You're in a very elite club of people that have been on twice so far. Anyway, so which I have to thank you for a relatively short notice. If anybody was tuning in thinking the Alien Abduction Club looks different to the last gig I saw them at, I tried to get the last minute advertising out there. They, I don't know, there was a bright light and then I just lost them. I believe they'll probably be back. They might have trouble sitting down for a while, so they'll probably stand up when I get them. But they'll be back. In the meantime, keeping it alien. Happy alien photography. If you're not all over those socials, make that happen. Merch, prints, t-shirts, hoodies, possibly that kind of thing, coming later in the year, which will be a blink of an eye because it's March already.
I know.
Christ. It's March already, which means it's almost my birthday.
Ooh, birthday.
I don't mind. I like getting old. I like getting older. Once you're as old as I am, like, just, it's like it really is a celebration that I'm not dead. I'm still alive. I'm not that old.
I'm 27 this year,
Oh.
and people think I'm 18. So it's like I still got some youngness in me.
Yeah, is that a compliment or does that annoy you? Like,
I think it's a compliment because
yeah.
my bones are of an 80-year-old. So I'll just take the 18 youngness with me.
Yeah, there's no need to correct them either. If that's what they think, let them be happy with that. It's fine. Never tell them otherwise. Even when you're 40, never tell them otherwise. They think you're like, well, they think you're 28 when you're 40. Just be like, yeah, whatever. Cool.
Oh, I hope.
Yeah, nobody mistakes me for a 28-year-old. That doesn't happen to me. But anyway, we're talking complete and utter bollocks now already. So, Missy, aside from this photography thing, you have another passion, another quite specific passion, which involves a quite specific person or a specific character, we should say, I guess.
What, the Scarlet Witch?
Wanda Maximoff.
Wanda. Yeah.
The wonder that is Wanda.
Wanda, the Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
I have a huge, well, I collect figures and Funko Pops. I've nearly got 200 Funkos. They're all over my room right now. But my main one is my Scarlet Witch collection. It's pretty sick. I do need to find more.
So what attracts you to the Scarlet Witch?
I don't know. It's like obviously a power. She's like the strongest character in Marvel. She's not understood very well. Obviously with the WandaVision show, obviously she was dealing with the loss of Vision, who was a partner and she loved him deeply. Obviously that like grieving aspect, like obviously she had a mental breakdown, really, didn't she? That's what caused her with the whole issue of taking over the town. And obviously through that, she was understanding herself, and obviously that's how the Scarlet Witch evolved. I don't know, she's just not a very understood character. And obviously with Doctor Strange and the multiverse, everyone saw her as a villain in a way, although she just wanted her life.
Yeah.
It's like no one cared about her when she obviously lost Vision and everything. But yeah, I think I connect with her. Because it's just, obviously Elizabeth Olsen, who plays her in the actual thing.
Oh man, she's
stunning.
absolutely divine. That the version. I mean, I've been a comic book fan for a long time. That cinematic version, Elizabeth Olsen's version, it's very, very good. It's different, like most of the MCU is. It's its own thing, and that's I'm not the fanboy like that's not what it's like on the page. I'm like, if it's good, it's good, right? If it's different, that's fine, absolutely fine by me. Good is good, and it's very good. The writing's been very good, and her performances have been. She's been knocking it out the park, and it's kind of unconfirmed as to whether she's coming back for any more.
I hope she does.
Or not. I really hope she does, because that story is far from finished. And there's so much else they can do. If the last time we saw her was to be the ending, it's really not a very convincing ending. I think we can I think we can spoil it. I think anybody who wants to see it must have seen it by now, right? We don't
yeah, definitely
avoid spoilers.
But, yeah.
So the main thing about cinematic sci-fi or fantasy, rule number one of watching any sort of sci-fi fantasy TV show or movie, kids, if you don't see the death on screen, it didn't happen. If you don't see a body, it didn't happen, right? Then probably not dead. If the spaceship explodes, the last time you saw them, they were on the ship and it blows up. The last time you saw them, they were on that planet and it blows up. Or, chances are, a few episodes down the line, the next movie, whatever, that's when you see it from a different angle, and the escape pod just happened to get out in time, or they teleported, opened a portal, whatever might be appropriate for the character. Chances are, if you don't see it on screen, at least they were hoping, they were leaving it open. Sometimes things happen. Sometimes actors, they don't want to come back, or they just, you can't negotiate. They don't get a good enough payday out of it, whatever, and it doesn't happen. But it means that the writers at least have plans and they would like more. So they didn't want to put a definitive ending on it. So I'm hoping for more, certainly. There's certainly room for more, storyline wise. There's room for a lot more. They've teased so many little things that they could do. So it's all out there teasingly. They're just making us wait such a long time.
Yeah.
It feels like such a long time.
Yeah, probably be waiting a century if she comes back. But she is definitely going to come back, because obviously we've got Agatha, new show, who was the witch,
Yes.
like the villain in WandaVision.
Yeah.
Obviously obviously Scarlet Witch is going to make a cameo in that, because obviously she was like, you never know. And obviously in WandaVision, like towards the ending, you had the White Vision, like obviously from the comics, and it's like you got to like merge that.
That was
well.
something I never thought I was going to see. That they've done some shit in the MCU that's been unexpected. Nobody really thought you'd take a chance on characters like the Guardians of the Galaxy. You'd want to stick with names some people might know. So they'd already established a trend of doing some outside the box kind of maneuvers. But no matter what they'd done up to that point, I thought, yeah, the White Vision, a character that I know very well, a character that I used to choose all the time in a video game way back when. Old people will know exactly which one I'm talking about. I never thought I'd see that on screen. I never thought they'd go there. And the fact that it's like they're there and then it's done, like it's over. So like it's not. It's definitely not. That's happening. And I'm pretty sure that is a thing that is confirmed. Paul Bettany is coming back for more. And it kind of seems pointless bringing one without the other. They are a pretty connected pair of characters. And as actors, their chemistry together is fantastic. Love watching them together. So it's got to happen.
Oh, definitely, and especially when they've got kids as well. So it's like they'll have to like merge into one and bring the younger Marvel folks all together. Although I don't really like the younger Marvel, like the new shows. I just can't get into them because I find them so irritating. I just don't know why. I think it's that young, dumb appearance. It just can't get into it. So.
Well, yeah, certainly. I mean, yeah, like I said, the layers of a character like the Scarlet Witch is not something you just take lightly. It's not a few laughs and zap, a superpower. Hey, everybody lives happily ever after. There's a little more going on, and that's part of what attracts you to the character. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's the most powerful one, and it's like she can't have just topped herself and Doctor Strange, could she?
A few rocks fell.
Yeah, that's not gonna get rid of her.
Okay, that's the end of that then. Probably not. Probably not. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. But so what have you got in this shrine to the Scarlet Witch? We've got Funkos. We've got obviously I guess comic books, the DVDs, anything like posters, artwork, anything you can lay your hands on. I guess that's witch related.
Yeah, and obviously I'm going to Disney Florida in May, so it's like hopefully there's going to be more Scarlet Witch things for me to fetch back for my shrine.
It would be nice. You ever thought of cosplaying or anything as the Scarlet Witch for any reason?
I do want to cosplay, but the costumes that you can buy online, if you're wanting a detailed one, it's like nearly £200. Or if you want like a cheaply, obviously it looks quite good on Amazon, £50. I'm like, I want that. But it's like just getting the time to obviously get dressed up and make it look perfect.
Yeah.
That is a project I want to do on my other profile, my personal one.
Yeah.
I would love to dress up like her. I can't wait to meet her at Disney. That's like the main goal.
So would you,
Like just hunt her down.
so would you want to go for like the old school comic book look, like they did with like the Halloween sort of episode, or the modern, or
To be honest, I
both,
wouldn't mind
maybe, yeah.
doing both actually. Obviously, I've got different like versions. Maybe I'll show you my shrine. Please hold. Woo, I can do this. Woo.
Hey, look at this. That's great. What the hell? What's this? Look at
Obviously, this
this,
is my
kids.
shrine. I've got a whole like collection. Obviously,
Just a
I got the original like
hey.
comic version, and I got a really good bargain for that. That was £7 on Amazon.
Hey.
Whereas all these so expensive. Like this one cost me 80.
Wow.
So I have a good collection. Hopefully to add more. But and then this for like £40.
Oh, that's the the Legends series. Yeah, there's some good shit in that.
And then obviously that's my shrine. And I don't know, I just I like, obviously I've moved everything around so I can fit more stuff, but yeah, Scarlet Witch I relate so much.
Hey. Yeah, I think so. Is there anything? I've asked lots of people who collect. They often have. I mean, and it changes, especially if you actually find it. But kind of like a holy grail of this. There's something you've seen, you know exists, like a limited edition, something special that you just love to get your hands on, or you just take whatever you can find.
I'll take what I can find, and if I know I can pay for it, I'm gonna do it. But there is a certain doll that's made by Hot Toys,
Oh,
and it's a £300 detailed doll
that's
of the Scarlet Witch, and it's about this big. I would love that. Like I talked to my friends about it. Like I want this.
yeah,
It's like if I
the
ever won lottery, first thing I would buy.
the hot toy stuff. That's the high end shit. Then they shouldn't really be. Toys is a bit of a misnomer. These things aren't for children.
No.
You don't give a £300 high end statue to a 4-year-old. um, I mean, maybe you do if you're like a Kardashian or something, but for those of us who might have to save up for like 3 years or something to buy one, but they are things of beauty. They really are. They even like they're often not just like painted statues. They often actually have actual like fabric and shit for the clothes and that. Oh, I mean, I've seen some great stuff. I would never really be able to have any. It's not just the price. It'd almost be. I'd just be scared if anything ever happened to it. If I haven't got it, then it can't fall off and break. If I haven't got it in the first place, I want to just a big truck goes by the house and smash. No, don't want
Yeah.
that. Um, but yeah, they do some great shit. If you want to get into that, I mean, so when it's ready, you know, you're only helping. Not only would you just have some great prints on your wall, some great surrealistic, sci-fi, fantastic artwork. That'll be a conversation starter with all your dinner party guests, definitely. Not only would it be good for you, but should be that one step closer to getting this hot toys.
Oh,
So
yeah. Oh,
it's all good. You know it's going to a good cause when he's ready. So I may have mentioned episode 10. Episode 10 this, and I just happen to have here 10 facts about the Scarlet Witch.
Oh,
You may or may not. You may
no.
or may not know. No, it's not a test. It's not a quiz. We're just going
Oh,
to chat about
fuck.
it. That you may be interested. You may already know. Everybody may know. You might be bored shitless for the next, I don't know, 10 minutes. I'll try and do these 10 facts. But obviously, so Scarlet Witch's first appearance in the comic books was X-Men #4, 1964. She looks good for an older lady. That's a fact. Created, of course, fact number 2, not much of a fact, but created, of course, by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, the King Jack Kirby, part of that slew of characters that were just, when they were just churning them out back then, that have all gone on to be super legendary and make millions, if not billions of dollars for everybody except Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, which is kind of a
No.
shame and a bit of a sore point, but hey. Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch, doesn't mind being part of a team. She's been part of a few teams over the years. Started as a villain, a somewhat reluctant villain. Stan Lee, what he wanted to do, he had a big hit with this thing called Spider-Man. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of that, but it's kind of a low-key niche character, but never mind me. Spider-Man being a reluctant hero, and he kind of thought it'd be cool to have a reluctant villain. And that was kind of a big part of the origins of Wanda and Pietro Maximoff. So it was part of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants at one point, which is why they've never been in the X-Men. Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, of course, Magneto's side of the philosophy back in the day when they were separate. Of course, Magneto, Charles Xavier, we're all friends now and everything if you're up to date with this shit. But there was a time that wasn't a thing, so she was part of that for a while. She, of course, joined the Avengers. She's been in the Lady Liberators. Guess what they do? She's been on specifically the West Coast Avengers. People are into the comic book lore. The Avengers kind of makes sense. The way Marvel do things, set in the real world, realistically, the Avengers, no matter how cool their ships or magic powers, you can't really be everywhere all at once, and there's terrible stuff happening the world over, and they can't just go, oh, China. They can't just teleport everywhere. Not Nightcrawler can't do that for everyone. So there's like the West Coast Avengers, the East Coast Avengers, kind of America-centric, but hey, you know. She was on the West Coast side for a while. She's been in the Defenders. The Defenders, if people watch the Netflix shit back in the day, that was like Iron Fist, Daredevil, Luke Cage. That was the street level Defenders. There's the kind of bigger, badder version of the Defenders, which is like Hulk, Doctor Strange, sometimes Wanda, like Black Ball, some fucking big hitters, and more of the kind of magic and supernatural or space kind of people. She was with them, and the Secret Defenders aren't a secret. I've just told you. So that, and also kind of slightly more recently, she was part of the Force Works team. So does join a team, does leave or get kicked out of all these teams because she either disagrees or goes nuts or whatever. But you know, she tries. She tries to be a team player. She's just not that good at it. But it's hard when you're a Nexus being. She's not a mutant. Not a mutant. For years we thought she was a mutant. For years Marvel thought she was a mutant. They told us she was a mutant. We didn't get it wrong. They said she was, but books evolved. The story evolves. Turns out she's not a mutant. She's a Nexus being, which is basically her powers are like directly tied into Mother Earth and like every other fucking parallel multiverse dimension to go with it, which is a hell of a lot of power she can draw on to do pretty much whatever the hell she wants with it. But not a mutant. In fact, a natural born baby, I don't know what number I'm on here, but natural born baby, enchanted by the demon lord Chthon, or Chthon, or however the fuck you pronounce something that's spelled Chthon. See, that was another big Stan Lee con job. He knew he was just writing this. He'd never really thought it'd be on the big screen and anybody would have to pronounce it and say it. So he made up a lot of bullshit words that we're now having to like try and we all want to talk about and discuss, and we're better actors than me have got to try and pronounce at some point. But enchanted as a baby with the chaos magic. We know how well that went. Spoilers, if anyone's not quite up to date, if you're thinking Magneto, if you're thinking that Eric Lencher, if you're thinking, oh, Magnus, or whatever name you know him by, is the father of Wanda Maximoff, you'd be wrong, because that would probably make her a mutant. What with Magneto being a mutant? Not the daughter of Magneto, just to get people up to speed. She is, in fact, the daughter of Maya and Django Maximoff. When she first started demonstrating her powers as a child after being enchanted by the demon Chthon, it was fair to assume in the world where mutants exist that that's what she was. Turns out, long time later, turns out that wasn't the case at all. Lots of deep, dark, demonic magic shit going on. Mephisto's involved, Chthon, the Knights of Wundagore. It's a really awesome story. It's a big read, but well worth it. What else have we got? Oh, yeah, of course. Her kids, Tommy and Billy. Her kids, Tommy and Billy, her imaginary kids, her not real kids, her kids that at one point are just in her head, then made real. I mean, this poor woman, they put this fucker through some ridiculous stuff. She can't. Wanda and Peter Parker, I think, are the two most put through the ringer characters I can think of off the top of my head. She will ultimately lose these kids, sending her right off the deep end. These kids, however, Tommy and Billy, they do come back. Another thing I'm thinking somewhere down the line, even on the big screen or the small screen, could be a Disney Plus thing, but these kids do return with powers as superheroes. We know as Wiccan. Yeah, Wiccan and Speed. Guess what they do? Right? So, kind of history repeating itself with the twins, just like the mum. Of course, she's played on screen by the wonderful Elizabeth Olsen, part of the Olsen sisters, who, if you're old enough, you kind of go, what the fuck, when the casting's announced, and then go, holy shit, she's amazing, after you've watched it. So that was great. Am I done? Is that everything? Oh, no, because Scarlet Witch, of course, best known for 3 words. Not necessarily a good thing to be remembered by, but she'll always be best known for just 3 words. Do you know these 3 words? You don't know these 3? Oh, I don't want to spoil it for you. 3 words. No more mutants.
Ooh.
Nexus being with the arse on, gone off the deep end, mad at the world, mad at a few specific people. No more mutants. 90% of the mutant population lose their powers. It's essentially genocide, to all intents and purposes. And it's one of the few, like, big money comic book events that doesn't just get rebooted and glossed over. Like, it's still a thing to this day that happened. A lot of other big things have happened, and then they just rewrite it and go, look, this is for the modern day. This is a new story, starting from the beginning. This is issue 1 again. But with a lot of the X-Men stuff, although Wanda not an X-Man, but with a lot of the mutant stuff and the X-Men stuff, which Wanda's involved in, while actually never being an X-Man, which is surprises some people. They just assume that she is, and she isn't. Never has been, probably never will be. She doesn't want that reminder So she didn't want the reminder that she was a mutant, but now she's not a mutant. So now she can't be part of the X-Men because she's not even a mutant. So that's never happening. But
The woman's all over the place, isn't she?
Yeah, she really is. She really is. But that's what makes it so interesting. It all kind of makes sense. It doesn't make sense when I hit you with 10 semi-random bullet point kind of things, but it really does all wrap up nicely. They've done a great job of telling this story. Very, very cool character. And don't blame you one bit for picking it as one of your favourites.
She's stunning. I just want to be like her.
Without the kind of, death of your children and committing genocide and going insane.
I mean, I'm halfway through that, so it feels well.
Yeah, we all go a little mad sometimes.
I'm still mad.
No, maybe the rest of the world's nuts and we're the only two sane people in it. Could be.
I know that probably is true.
Yeah, I mean, because have you seen the rest of the world? It looks pretty fucking nuts from where I'm sitting, and it's not getting any better.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But we don't do downers on this show, except we've just been talking about dead kids and genocide for the last 10 minutes. If you've just joined us, welcome to the Genocide Hour with Johnny Fox and Happy Alien.
Well, have you got a comment? What kind of hat is that?
What kind of hat is that?
Kind of hat is that? It is Bad Omens logo hat. Cost me £30 from America, and it's stylish. Because Bad Omens is one of my favourite bands. I saw them this year live with Bring Me Horizon. So obviously, I want to represent the beauty. But one day, if I come back, I'll have my own Happy Alien one.
Who's that? So that I've been a tight ass Yorkshireman. That's £30 to have it shipped from America, or £30 you picked it up while you were in America.
No, I ain't been in America.
Not yet.
But I ordered it on the website, and it was roughly around £30 because obviously you got to include the shipping and all that. But it took about 2 weeks to come.
Still, you wear it well.
I shall cherish it.
Yeah. So Bad Omens are a favourite band. Then see, I was blissfully unaware of them until meeting you. Well, sort of virtually meeting, following your socials, and yeah, they are pretty good. I'm a little bit disappointed in myself that they've been around as long as they have, and they've managed to fly under my radar. I like to think I'm not such a crusty old man. I still like to try and check out some new stuff, and I've kind of missed those, but I'm getting there. I'm working my way through the back catalogue.
Me? When was it? I didn't start trying to think now. When did I start liking them? By end of 2022. Obviously TikTok helped introduce me to him because I just fell in love with the lead singer. He's bloody gorgeous. And obviously, the music. And obviously, I was so happy to see him live in January. Oh, I was so happy. That just made my day.
So come on. So educate an old man. Educate an old man who claims to be a music fan, who used to claim to be a musician for many years. That's a past life I can live without now. But educate a crusty old man. What else should I be listening to? What else is good?
I think obviously I like to listen to like screamo, heavy metal. I have a bit of rap in my life, like Cardi B. That's only like the type of rapper. Um, you could listen to Sleep Talking. They're quite a really good band.
Yeah, okay.
That's one. You could listen to Spirit Box. Is it Spirit Box? Spirit Box. Female singer. She does like screamo metal stuff. Write it down.
Write it down. I'm gonna do it straight after this.
I don't know if you've been listening to Bad Omens, obviously Sleep Talker might be the next step here because they do very like, I don't know, I can't describe the music. It's just fabulous, like cinematic, and obviously they experiment with different sounds and stuff like that. So it could be a band to listen to.
Okay.
But you never know. Yeah, just have to.
You never know. I do have very eclectic taste, as I think you have to do, especially with music. I mean, pretty much all art, but definitely music is it's an emotional thing. I think I want to listen to music that either suits my mood or music that might change my mood for the better, which doesn't work for everybody. And I get the logic that it is maybe a bit suspect that something really fucking full on, in your face, aggressive, angry might make me happy. But for some reason, it often does. So if I'm feeling a bit down and putting on some insanely brutal metal actually lifts me up, then that's what works for me. Not all the time, but sometimes. So, but yeah, I'm partial to quite a bit of classical. What might surprise some people, I like an awful lot of rap, hip hop, but I mean, I certainly lean towards like old school shit. I'm a big like Wu-Tang Clan, Public Enemy, NWA, the classics. That's old stuff now. Old hat. Nobody had to think listens to that anymore. A lot of people wearing Wu-Tang Clan shirts. I'm sure they think it's just a clothing brand. I feel like there can't possibly be that many Wu-Tang fans still knocking around. Although they are, I mean, because they've all kind of gone the separate ways, and they all have separate. Pretty much almost every member has a successful solo career, which is also they're also so old that their careers are almost pretty much over as well as solo artists. So like that's an old band, but yeah, I quite like it. I think because like I like the punk and the metal. I like stuff with lyrics. I like things that maybe have something to say. I'm not particularly fond of like the sky is blue and I love you, la di da di da. I like to think, what's this about? You know. And then when kind of you listen to a lot of metal and it stops being heavy, like what someone else goes, what the fuck is that? And you're like, it's like a lullaby. When once you've become a fan and you're into that and you've listened to loads of it, it's like you kind of don't get it in a way. You don't get that same. You still enjoy it, but it's never quite the same buzz as that first time you heard it. And when you kind of went, what the fuck is that? But in a good way. I think once I've been through that, and then like that era, that kind of late 80s, early 90s era of like hip hop and all the like the social justice, the civil rights, like with the LA race riots and shit like that going on, they really had something to say. Those fuckers were angrier than any metal band around at the time. They had every fucking reason to be, and they were not going to hold back and tell the world if it meant getting arrested if they played that song at the show. If it meant getting arrested straight after or even dragged off the stage, they did it. And I was like, wow, that's human beings doing what human beings need to do. And there's not enough of that around at the minute. Artists, real artists are artists because it's just in your soul. There's just some inspiration. You don't know, you can't understand it yourself. You just know, like, you have to do it. You don't do it to be famous. You don't do it to make money, because God knows there's no money in art, no real money, not in real art, not really. You do it for a whole bunch of other reasons, and you don't. Yeah, and I'm ranting, so I'm going to stop. But that's why I like looking at a happy alien picture, as I can just stare at that thing and pull it to bits and find all the different little pictures, like within the picture, the different things, and wonder what they are, why they're there, and all that stuff. Stuff to get me brain working a little bit. I have a dead end job. I have a dead end life, except for doing this. This is awesome. I love doing this every week. In between this, that's pretty much. You see me anywhere other than here.
Me.
That's all, because that's all I need to get by in this shit. I pay the bills and go until it's time to do this. That's about it. So yeah, I like something that just kind of can pull me out of that. And art in all its beautiful forms, photography, digital work, painting, sculpture, video, acting, movies, music, video games. It's escapism, but it also it helps me. It does something for me.
It drives that creativity and that imagination. So you're not just stuck there daydreaming all day at work. It's like you're actually physically doing something.
So since last time we talked, you have now a new job or a different job, right?
I have a different job. Do I have a different job?
You have a different job since the last time we spoke.
No, I'm still on the
Still the
same
same
job.
job. I thought it was something new. I don't know why.
Oh, I wish.
So you like yours as much as I like mine.
I mean,
Maybe you like.
my human job is in within retail. What
Now
retail's like? No.
I've never done retail, but I know people who have, and none of them have anything nice to say about it.
No, I don't.
A common phrase I get from people who work in retail is that the job would be fucking great if it wasn't for all the customers. Does that sound true?
Yeah, it's just the amount of people that are really nasty. It's like there's no need for it. Especially like with certain stuff, like food. You're gonna end up eating that. So who gives a shit? Items, which is fair enough, one breaks. But it's like, and you want to return it or yada yada. It's like you have to be nasty to me about it. I just trying to do my job here, and it's just like, oh, leave me alone.
Yeah, I have a friend who does retail, and he was working. He's just supermarket work, so he was still going strong through the pandemic, and there's nothing on the shelf, and people are coming in, and he took so much shit like it's his fault. He's like, yes, I'm here. I'm trying to stack the shelves, but I've got like I've got one toilet roll to put on, and that's your lot. That's all I've got. It's not my fault. I don't do the orders. I don't make it. I don't go in the back and make toilet rolls.
Yeah.
So it's not.
It's
not my job. Somebody else orders them. We haven't got any. They haven't been delivered. I can't help you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And he's getting swore at and given shit. And he's like, what's he got to do with me? It's not my fault. He doesn't like the job at the best of times, but for that, so like a year and a half, everything was his fault because there was nothing on the shelf.
Yeah.
Like,
Just
I just work here, man. I just get minimum wage for working here.
like you just get this paying amount. Why should you talk to like that? Just like,
It's,
oh, it's like people are so nasty to one another in the world. It's just like no need for it. Especially with me working on tills as well, obviously serving people. You get some moody people. I'm just saying, like,
I mean,
I
we all have a bad day, right?
yeah,
And it's,
you
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 try
all
not
have
to
a bad
take it with you, but
yeah. It's all right to have bad days and thingy, but it's not like you shouldn't throw stuff at people.
yeah.
Like it's, it's like you just look at them and you just like, "Shh, get away.
I
Especially
mean,
when
obviously, no, go on.
especially when the store's closing and there's people still shopping. And it's like, I don't live here. I have a life. Let me go home. I'm tired. I've done a long hour shift. Like, man.
I was just going to say, don't. I mean, obviously, don't name any names if you know the names. But is there a customer like a regular or recurring customer when you see them walk in and you just go shit because they're regularly at the very best annoying, at the worst outright fucking nightmare. So it's like, I don't know if you've got a bell that dingles when they open the door, but like when your attention's a new customer and you go, oh fuck, you got one of them.
Oh, oh yeah.
It
This,
sounds like more than one.
oh, always loads. Especially when there's always this one geezer. He's a bit scruffy, and he always talks to me like he knows me, and I'm like, I don't know you. He always calls me Pinky, because obviously I had pink in my hair and red and all that. And it's like, who are you? I don't know who you are. Or you get like there's one particular customer that comes in and buys things, and then they always ask me about the product, like if I'm doing shelves, and it's like, oh, buy it and try it out, and then they're like, okay, I'll buy it, and then they won't buy it, and then they'll buy something else, buy that, come back and return it, and it's like,
Well, you try.
oh,
You try. Look, like I said, I've never done retail, but you know, as as a younger man, retail, a form of retail that no longer exists because I'm that old. It's gone. All I ever wanted to do, I wanted to run a video shop. Remember video VHS kids. I am VHS years old, and because I used to go to my local video store, not a blockbuster, not a big fucking mega chain, just an independent shop run by just a guy who thought that looks like a good idea, that could make some money. I'll start a video shop, and I could go there and I could rent like for a weekend for a weekend's binge watching. I could rent like 7 movies or so. I was definitely a regular and good customer. I mean, to the point he started like if I'd get like a good 7 films, and he'd like just let me off with about 3 of them. He'd only charge me for like half of what I'd rent and shit like that. He'd give me the posters when they were done on the wall and shit, so I could take them home and stuff like that. Really great. And I just saw this guy as like the closest to God that a human being can get. I just thought that's a godly existence. He had like a TV up on the wall on brackets, and I just thought, so he comes into work surrounded by all the latest and greatest movies available, gets access to these things before anybody else. Like he can no doubt watch them at home before he puts them on the shelf for us, you know? And he puts a film on and he watches this film and just chills watching the movie until some customers come in, pauses it, talks about movies, serves them movies, asks them when they bring in films back, ask them, did you like it? You know, gets to chat like I'm doing now. Gets to chat about cool shit. Maybe recommend, oh, if you like that, you'll probably like this. Gets a sale out of it, or a rent out of it. And then they bugger off and he puts the film back on. and just does that every day. Just talks about films, watches films, occasionally rings up a till now and again. I just thought that's life, that's living. How fucking cool is that? I just like, to me at the time, I just thought it doesn't get much better than that. I still think like that would be a fantastic existence, but it can't be done now. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to start my own business. Yeah, I can't really start a video store.
You can though,
that's
like
not really a thing.
people tend to like everyone's bringing all the 90s stuff back.
Yeah,
So VHS might be
I mean,
something
maybe.
though.
Yeah, vinyl's making a comeback. They keep saying vinyl's making a comeback, and it kind of is, but not really. But is, but not really. So I don't know. VHS.
Vinyls are so expensive for what they are.
It's ridiculous.
Like,
I mean, the vinyl is, and this is probably just going to sound like old man speak, but vinyl really is the best way to listen to any of your favorite artists. A guy I used to know, I've said this before, I think, on the show, a guy I used to know, he did his university thesis on this. He took all the different formats, like from vinyl to cassette tapes, compact discs, mini discs, through to like MP3, MP4, iTunes, FLAC, all the digital mediums, the whole shebang. He went through the whole lot. He smarter man than me, had some really cool software, and he managed to managed to take all the information from that format, upload it, and be able to see like a kind of a graph, I guess, of how much information is there. And what he discovered is that vinyl simply holds more information. Like when you're listening to a song on almost any other format, there could be entire instruments that are doing something on that song, and you just can't hear them. They're not there because the format just can't hold enough information. So there's just entire bits missing. If you've got an artist that really layers their music up with lots of crazy sounds and weird noises or whatever, or lots of harmonies, perhaps vocally, a lot of it, we're listening to it, on his phones. No matter how expensive those fucking Dr. Dre things are in your ear, they, MP4, MP5 that you're using, half the fucking song isn't there. Especially if you listen to like older songs, because newer songs, because they know they're going to be listened to on the newer formats that can't handle the information, they just don't put much information in the song in the first place. So older music is better. Older music does have more layers, more to listen to, and the way to listen to it is on vinyl with either the best speakers money can buy or at least a really good pair of headphones. And you could take a song that you know really, really well and then listen to it on vinyl with headphones and go, fuck, I've never heard this bit before. There's this trumpet that I've just never heard before. I mean, you might prefer the other version. You might prefer the modern version. That trumpet might really get on your fucking nerves. Like, why did they put that in? But, as the artist intended, it's like the director's cut, if you will, of music. So I'm sure there are artists out there that still like to layer their stuff up anyway, even though you're not going to hear it. Maybe ones that make an effort to still release an album on vinyl might not just be trying to cash in on a fad, might be because, bless you, might be because they really wanted to listen to the vinyl version because they put some shit in there. It's how it really should be heard. Maybe why sometimes it sounds so different live, because live they've got everything they want to do, they're doing, perhaps. Sometimes not. Sometimes it's the opposite. You strip it down live because there's like 4 of you. And in this, with Studio Magic, there's like 20 of you and an orchestra and a fucking harpsichord and the sound of a lesser spotted bohemian turtle orgasming or something in there at the end. But yeah,
you should do that.
So maybe, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I actually wanted to be in retail, but not now. Not now. Now it sounds like it absolutely sucks.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
But I could be on a one-man mission to bring back VHS, but I don't think I can commit. I don't think I'm willing to commit to that.
Always a plan, though.
I'll think about it. I'll think about it. Food for thought. I could do it. What else? Well, what else can we talk about? So it's been a while. This is episode 10. You were on episode 2. You were on episode 2, so it's been a while. It's been a good few weeks. It's been 9 weeks. So except for churning out awesome art after awesome art on Happy Alien Photography, if you want to check out the socials, kids, because we're talking about anything but Happy Alien Photography on this episode for some reason. I'm sorry about that. But I'll keep bringing it up. I'll keep bringing it up. So aside from that, working as we all do, what have you been doing yourself? You found time to you watch much TV or movies? You seen anything tickled your fancy that you can remember that you think you'd recommend?
Let me get into this. Oh. So Netflix bought NCIS on, what was it?
All right.
Season 5 to season 11, but I got season 10. So I was just watching that every single day, and I just fell in love with that, like, crazy. And then obviously I'm currently watching CSI, which is on Netflix. But it really pisses me off with Netflix, the amount of money that you pay for it, and they don't have all the seasons of the shows on. It's like, what's the point in that? But
yeah.
Oh, I can talk about a current film I watched. Have you watched Poor Things on Disney?
Poor Things, not yet. It's supposed to be good though.
Well, I mean, it's good in fashion sense. The storyline, bit disturbing, but yeah, you definitely need to check that out.
Yeah, it's on the list. It's definitely a potential weekend viewing. It was on the list last weekend. It didn't quite make it to the top, so probably get done this weekend actually.
But yeah, other than working, editing, just most have been. I focus on certain things. So if I'm really enjoying something, I can just watch it like all the time. And if I get bored of something, I don't watch it. But NCIS proper caught my eye. It's just like how the stories are. Obviously, it's about victims with sexual assault and how they get the person in the end. It's like the storyline. It's just
I
captured me.
Never tried it. Never tried it. Do like that kind of a thing. I've watched loads of the. There's a lot of that around. There's a lot of. As NCIS said, there's fucking. I don't know. There's just so many of that kind of police or FBI or whatever kind of department they want to try and focus on to be a little bit different to the other show. But there is an awful lot of that around, and I do like that shit. NCIS, for whatever reason, is one that I just I didn't try. Not that I don't like. I just for some reason I just never.
It's just
never tried
like
that
the type of stories, especially with CSI. I'm quite watching. I used to watch that when I was younger, and I totally
remember watching the original. It's another one. There's like CSI, CSI Miami, CSI LA, CSI New York, CSI whatever on a boat or something. There's like all these different spin-off versions, which I'm sure are different in their own way, and then everyone will have their favorites. I remember watching the original series, which was like, it was the shit at the time. Everybody was watching it. It was a big fucking deal, that original series.
Yeah,
and I remember watching that and just not really following it on once it started splintering into all the different spin-offs and stuff. Never really carried on. I said there's another essentially cop show. There's another cop show along every 5 minutes. There's another one. So.
Oh, definitely. But obviously with CSI, I think I'm watching the original. I think. And obviously I used to watch it when I was younger, and I totally forgot how gory it is. Like I didn't expect to see like autopsies and skeletons and actual blood and gore.
Yeah,
Forgot that even
because
existed.
that's the whole point, isn't it? It's the forensics department, so they really you got to get into the detail, the nitty gritty, the blood and guts of the situation. That's where the answers lie.
Oh yeah, it's like when you come to think of it, I always wanted to get into forensic photography. Changed my mind. That not my cup of tea. That will throw up. But yeah, I don't know. I just go in and out. Like I really like documentaries. So if I see a good one, I'll watch that. Especially like history. Like before I go to sleep, I'll have a history documentary on about Henry VIII and his wives. And that geezer was right cunt. Like he was ugly. I don't know how.
Well, it's power.
No,
Power's very attractive.
I wish I had the power. But like when you look at paintings of him, it's like, ugly.
Yeah,
Even an alien won't go with that.
Let's be honest. These fuckers, right? Just how ugly must that guy have been? Because this is a painting, kids. It's like a photograph, but you have to draw it yourself, right? So this is not even the real him. This is a painting, right? And if you were, if in some kind of past life or some alien ancestor of yours is commissioned to do this portrait of Henry VIII, right? You're gonna want to please the guy, or you're not going to be doing any more portraits anytime fucking soon, right? Let's be honest. So you want to paint a flattering portrait of him. So if he looks that fucking ugly in a portrait that's probably a lie, that's making him look better than he really does, just how minging was that dude? It beggars belief.
Yeah, but just think he was ugly, but he got all the action from all these women.
It's good
like,
to be king, I guess.
Yuck. Yes, disgusting.
Actually, did you ever watch? I mean, it's still going, but you ever watch The Crown?
The Crown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Crown with the. I watched. I think only maybe the first two seasons. I watched the ones with Matt Smith playing the king, and there was a bit in that we have our beloved. And I wished, I so hope that somehow that it was true. You know, that it happened in real life, and this wasn't just written for the thing. There's a part they're discussing our king and queen, and there's all the things, because he couldn't be king. He had to be. He was king of Greece, and he had to kind of abdicate that in order to be with the woman he loved. And he was essentially just told to like shut the fuck up and stay out of the way. She's in charge. You don't get a say in it. And he had to be okay with that. And he kind of was, but he wasn't. He was okay with it because it's love and all that. It's just how much you got to love someone to have everything, all that good shit that comes with being king, and go, no, I'm going to go with her. That's some serious fucking commitment on his part. Didn't necessarily handle it the longer it went on, and the more you can see shit going on and thinking, I should have a say in this. I've got an idea and not allowed to have ideas. But he comes on, he's been out hunting or whatever the fuck he was doing, just to pass the time of day on. And he comes back in, and they're going to bed and they're getting undressed, and she's telling him about her day, and she's got problems with either like a prime minister or another royal or whatever, and how, but I was like, she's going to make them do what she says and stuff like that. And he goes like, well, no, nobody can argue with you, love, or whatever. And he says, that. So how was your day? And he's like, crap, I don't get to do anything. However, and he starts off unbuckling his belt, And he's like, I can take solace in the fact that I am the only man that can get the Queen of England on her knees. And fucking, Matt Smith, just like completely sort of straight face, but with a cheeky glint in his eye, knocking out this line. And I'm like, oh, I wish somehow that could, I want that to be real. I want their I wish their relationship was really like that, and he said shit like that.
I think it was
kind
real
of pulls back all the racist crap that he said over the years. If he was saying stuff like that, I was just like, oh, that's such a good line. I mean, hats off to whoever wrote that, assuming it's probably not true.
Definitely seduce the Queen in that way, because you tend to think King Charles and with Camilla over the phone calls that got released and how disgusting they were over that. So it's like definitely Prince Philip got that Queen's undies wet, didn't she?
Yeah. Not a man to mince his words, bless him. But I watched a bit of that. But I'm currently watching sci-fi. I'm currently watching Farscape back, which is a 90s sci-fi that you'll have missed. It's great. It's great. There's only 4 seasons, about 20 episodes a piece. I think it's on Amazon. Most people seem to have Amazon. I think they're all on Amazon. It's great. You've got the Earth astronaut doing some fancy state-of-the-art test, and somehow he gets zapped to like a wormhole to the other side. I think he's supposed to be still in our universe, but it's a fucking big place, so it's like all crazy aliens and shit. And then just finds himself a little crew, like you do, and goes on crazy adventures, meeting lots of other crazy aliens and stuff, running away from the crazy kind of Nazi kind of regime that runs that part of the galaxy or whatever that he's in, while he's trying to find another wormhole that'll get him back to Earth. So kind of, but it's so fun. And one of the things that's really, really fun about it is because this is old school, because this is late 90s shit, it's not full of lots of like green screen and digital effects. It's all like built sets, physical sets. You can tell, you can see, you watch them almost like trip over them, or they have to kind of push them around. And aliens, and when they meet aliens in this thing, a lot of sci-fi aliens just happen to look like humans. It's just that they're aliens, because it's cheap, basically. Or at the very least, you just paint them green or blue or something and go, it's an alien. Oh my god! Speaking of aliens, they're coming. They're here. We're under attack.
Oh yeah. I don't know. It's like when you look at older TV shows and such, and now they don't use that much CGI. They use makeup sets, and it's like from now when they use CGI and editing, and it's like the amount of money that you're spending on that. Why can't you spend it on a more realistic approach to like makeup skills and sets? It's like
sometimes definitely, but yeah, the show, it's also because the show's produced by the Jim Henson Company, so people who did the the Muppets and Sesame Street and all that, so a long history of making practical effects, and so all the aliens are like real aliens. They're not just a dude painted blue. They're all like legit fucking lizard people, like spidery insect looking people, all with fucking tentacles and legs sticking out the middle of their face and all this. I'm not saying that looking back like 30 plus years later that it doesn't look dated or like a little bit, some people might think cheap. It could put a lot of people off in a sense that it looks like that. But I'm really digging that when there's an alien, it's an alien. And when there's a spaceship, some fucker built a spaceship or like built the insides of a spaceship. And it is very, very stylized. The art direction is very, very focused, that it looks like nothing else you've ever seen. And it's all very thematic. like every episode, wherever they go, whatever the new thing is that they're visiting, that they come across, it's something new. So just visually, I'm just finding it incredibly interesting just to look at. Like I could watch it on fucking mute, and just look at it because it's like the use of color and lighting, and if this episode they're meeting this race of people and everything's all very like very white and very clean and very smooth or whatever, and some other episode everything's very purple and black and like jaggedy or something, spiky and shit. And I'm just like just digging it visually, if nothing else.
It's
And
like you just wish you could look like that.
yeah, would kind of recommend it to anyone with a kind of artistic leaning, just to, just to like try a couple and just it's visually striking and interesting, somewhat unique. Watch a lot of shit, a lot of sci-fi, a lot of fantasy type shit, and I mean, I watched it the first time around, and I'm watching it back, and I'm like, yeah, still never seen anything like it since. I've never seen anything like it the first time round. Like, what's this? And now I'm watching it back and thinking, yeah, there's still been nothing that's quite that intense, with its set out with a purpose and fucking did it, which was great. But it is one of those shows where it doesn't really get an ending because somebody decided it wasn't as good as I think it is and pulled the money and pulled the plug, and it didn't quite get to finish it. They did do like a one-off special to try and finish it. So we almost get there, but it's it's not the ending they originally planned, which is weird. They wrote 5 seasons. They let them make 4, and then said it's not successful enough. That's it. You're finished. Like, for the sake of one fucking more, they only want one more. They're not trying to keep this thing going forever like shows do now. We're never going to get an ending to a TV show again ever because everyone seems to be obsessed with trying to make it the longest running TV show ever. So they can't just think of a story and tell it. Just do it. Just tell the fucking story. I don't care however long you think it'd be good to take. 1 episode, 6 episodes, 10 episodes, a movie, a trilogy of movies. But I think we need to get back. I think what would make me feel better, I think I'd enjoy shows and movies a lot more than I am doing lately. Again, I don't mean to be a crusty old fart. I'm always watching and listening to new stuff. Not going to say the old stuff's all better, but I think the kind of keep the money coming kind of thing that usually doesn't actually work because people get bored, people lose interest. People are like, well, it started really good, and I just want them to fucking I want to know. I want to know. You do want to know, so you kind of keep watching, but when you get at that point when you're watching something, you're like, why do I keep watching this shit? And then that little thing happens that makes you go, oh yeah, that's why. Because I want to know what's going to happen to him, her, them. But in general, you're like, maybe I'll just not bother and I'll wiki it when it's finished. And then it doesn't finish. I think if maybe you wrote a story and you had that idea and you went, I could tell this story in 30 episodes. And when you make that pitch, I know nothing. I don't work in the TV, movie industry or anything. I'm just a fan. But my plan would be when you're pitching this shit to Netflix, have a plan in the first place, a budget in the first place, and go, if you give me, $10 million, I can make 30 episodes and tell this story. How about it? And when they say yes, that's it. It's signed. It's done. You're telling the story. You as an artist get to tell your story. We, if we become a fan and like the story, get to see it end. Everybody wins.
Yeah.
Instead of like, well, I've got this idea and starting it and just seeing how far we can go with his fingers crossed. I think why not pitch the whole thing in one go? Try and kind of budget it. How much do you think you could make the whole story for? And just go up front and see if they'll do that for you. And then I think everybody would win.
Yeah, but it's just sad that companies don't look at it that way. They just look at it as popularity and money that they'll get back. But yeah, a bit rubbish, isn't it?
It's
To be honest.
I don't really have too much of a concentration or focus problem in general, but if you hook me, I'm hooked. But if you don't, and I like to give things a fair chance, but like if it's not getting me, it's not getting me, and you're probably never going to win me back. Once I'm gone, I'm gone, and I'm leaving a lot of things lately, and I'm I'm so scared. I'm so scared of turning into that crusty, miserable old fucker because I'm trying things and not liking it. So it's great when I can speak to someone a little younger and they don't like it either. And I'm like, oh god, I'm fucked. It's not just me.
No, I think everyone's got particular tastes, and it's like how the production of a film or TV series, how they make the story run along. It's like how it captures your interest. But like I said, my concentration span very bad. So if something's gonna grab my attention, it's grabbed. But if it's not, I just have it like as a background thing while I'm editing. So I've got more focus on another thing. I don't know. My brain cells all over the place when it comes to things like this.
Familiar story. I think most of us. So what attracts you to like a movie or a TV show the most between like reading a little bit about it, so like you find out the storyline, the content, or because it's got certain actors in?
I think like learning more of the storyline. I don't really care about what actors are in. Like Poor Things, as an example. What attracted me to that was like the style and like the camera shots and the cinematic style, like the black and white and the colour. I'm not a fan of Emma Stone in general. Like, I'm not the one to watch all the films. Like with all the other actors as well. They don't really, I don't really bother about the actors really. It's just how it attracts me. And obviously, when I finally watched it, you kind of like, I kind of fell in love in a way because obviously the fashion. It's like a learning experience as well.
Yeah.
But if I were to watch another film, oh, this could be a good example. So this Spaceman that's got
That's
oh, what?
is that Adam Sandler?
Yeah,
Is that Adam Sandler new one? Yeah.
I watched that, and obviously that attracted me because obviously, like for like you said, actors. I love Adam Sandler films, and because this was such a serious one,
Okay.
that interests me because they were like, I've never seen an Adam Sandler. I mean, I watched Uncut Gems. That was quite
I
serious.
enjoyed that. Yeah.
Obviously that were another serious film that he did, but this were like a deep one, and obviously it was in space. Felt like that hit my attention span, and then when I finally watched it, blown away. I, I absolutely loved it. It's like it just reminded me of the A24 films. You know, when
Okay.
they have them
Yeah.
unique camera shots and such. And then when you come to do your research about it, like who filmed it, and it's not even that company. So it's like, but it's so similar in a way. I don't know. It's just like storylines hit me, and it's like something that you relate to as well. So obviously, if it's like depression and anxiety, it's like, oh, I relate to that,
Yeah.
and it's like telling that story of how they develop as a character as well. That what attracts me.
You know what?
But if it's like a romantic, I can't do it. It makes me sick. So like I said, if it's a romantic, I just can't watch it. Good background music, like not music, but
Yeah.
background stuff to like do other things with. But
You know what? This is great. This is for me. I've been saying this for a while now. So I mean, we've talked about Scarlet Witch. We've talked about Elizabeth Olsen's fantastic performance. But this is the thing. In many ways, again, I think things would be better. Fuck the actors, right? I'm not saying they're not brilliant, they don't do a great job, but you're not watching the actor, you're watching that character. It's that character's story. And it's the writer, the person or people who wrote the thing you're watching. They're the ones you want to give credit to. The actors do a fantastic job of bringing it to life, and I'm not taking anything away from actors. I love the art form. People that are good at it just blow my mind how they can become someone else. When they do it right, it's so fucking good. But it's about the characters. It's not Emma Stone. It's whoever the fuck she is in Poor Things. You're not watching Emma Stone. The fact that people, watch the film because they want to see Emma Stone. Worse things to look at in this world than Emma Stone. But like, you're supposed to be experiencing this character's journey. Getting a part of the life. It's about the characters. If we just move away a little bit from the celebrity bullshit of selling a film because it's this person rather than focusing on the character. It's like with the superhero films. I want to see Scarlet Witch. It's not Elizabeth Olsen that I want to see. She's done a great job, so I'll give her the credit in reverse. But initially it's because, they're doing Scarlet Witch. Okay, I want to watch it. I don't want to watch what's his name? The little Spider-Man kid. I forgot his name already. But Tom Holland.
Tom Holland, yeah.
Who's been doing a bang-up job, bless him. But I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. So I'm watching Spider-Man. I'm here for Spider-Man. The kid could be, to all intents and purposes, the kid could be anybody. And you can't be anybody. You've got to be a good actor. You've got to pull it off. But that's not what I'm going to see. I'm going to see Spider-Man. When it was Tobey Maguire, I was going to see Spider-Man. It was Andrew Garfield. I went to see Spider-Man. It's Tom Holland. I went to see Spider-Man.
I went to see Spider-Man.
Because I'm a Spider-Man fan. So when people bitch and whine about how many times are they going to recast it, how many different I don't give a fuck, because it's still Spider-Man. And I'm going to keep watching Spider-Man films because they're going to keep making them, and I'm going to keep watching them. I don't care who it is. I don't care. When it's black Spider-Man, I'll be watching that too. When it's female Spider-Man, I'll be watching that too. It's because it's Spider-Man that I'm there for. I'm going to see the new Godzilla film in a couple of weeks because I'm a huge Godzilla fan. I think there's some humans in it, but I couldn't give a rat's ass.
Because it's all about Godzilla.
For Godzilla. Millie Bobby Brown was in the last one. I couldn't give a shit for Millie Bobby Brown. I was there for Big G. And I always will be. We go see these bullshit Transformers films. It's because Optimus Prime is one of the greatest heroic leaders of all time. Couldn't give a shit for whoever's in it. Those little pink fleshy things. Don't want to watch those, really. So if we just move away from that and get into the stories and characters, they probably write better stories and characters instead of getting a bunch of celebrities together in a room, pointing a camera at them and going, hey kids, here's a film. And actually making shit for the money because there's a bunch of pretty people in a room for 2 hours and people like looking at that for some reason instead of good stories. A lot of ranting this week. I'm sorry. But hey, kind of positive, energized, positive ranting. I just want people to appreciate art in all its forms. I think people often forget things like heavy metal is art. You say art, and I think people think of a painting, basically. They don't think of some digital imagery. They don't think of a really well framed photograph. They don't think of the $300 million superhero movie. But it is. It's art in all its glory and all its beauty. It's self-expression, and we need it. We need lots of it. It's great. People need to not stop doing it, and we need to move away from celebrity and get back to some serious art making, I think. And the artists can become celebrities.
Oh, let me be a celebrity, please. Give me the attention.
Yeah, you know what? I honestly don't think I could handle it. You know, not real celebrity. I think I'd be up in the attic doing a Cobain in no time. I don't really think it's for me. I like I like the sound of my own voice. Clearly, I like to be heard. I like to think I've got something to say. I used to think I had something to say and I could say it via the medium of music, which nobody listened to. Uh, but yeah, in all honesty, if I sit and think about it, fame and fortune probably wouldn't suit me.
I mean, I wouldn't mind being like, what's that artist name? Is it Banksy?
Yeah,
Banksy?
the
Is that?
anonymous random gorilla
Yeah, I
artist.
would love to be like that, to be honest. Like the unknown, but I've shown my face on here, so I can't do it. But I don't know. I wouldn't want to be famous like everyone knows who I am. I would like the money side of it. Um, I don't know. I just like the attention for my work in a way. I think that'd be quite pleasing. And obviously, having prints sold at auction
Hmm.
would be a dream, but you never know.
The
It's like,
the thing is, well, I think the thing is for a lot of artists, it seems to be, the best thing, die.
you get
That
famous
seems to work
overnight. It's like,
wonders.
what?
So I mean, Van Gogh never sold a single fucking painting in his lifetime. Not one. He died.
Not one.
He's one of the
Chopped his
greats.
ear off. Like,
You know,
ridiculous.
snuff it.
Yeah.
I'm not promoting suicide, self harm, or anything by no means on this channel. It's just a joke, kids. Christ, the fucking toxic internet. I'm doomed. You can't cancel me. You've got to know who I am first to cancel me. I'm not famous enough. I can't get cancelled. I can say what the fuck I like at this point. Which
Even that.
I'll. But yeah, no, it just seems to be sadly a fact. I mean, yeah, I'm an old man. Music. I've just mentioned Nirvana, so I'll mention them again. I mean, they were a huge band before Kurt's death, but they got bigger afterwards.
Yeah.
Which certainly, I see people way less than half my age wearing Nirvana shirts now, and it's good, it's great, I like it, by all means. But I was there. Um, it's not so to show off about it. So I think it's just pure coincidence. I was born when I was born, but it's yeah, that is didn't hurt the success, and that happens to a lot. It's kind of shame. I mean, I think like not that Dave Grohl's not a good musician or a decent songwriter or an incredibly nice guy, because he is. Um, don't fuck with him though. Uh, if he doesn't like you, you'll fucking know about it. If he does, you'll fucking know about it. He's one of those kind of guys. Anyway, but I strongly believe you take the Foo Fighters. If it's not the guy from Nirvana, if it's just a band that just turns up in like what 1996 with the exact same songs, they don't get anywhere. They get lost
Yeah.
in the mix. There's just so many bands that sounded like that around, because that's what record companies do. One band gets huge and they all try and sound kind of clones, similar bands, and they make it a genre. Suddenly, grunge exists, which I'm an old man. I was there at the time. There's no spoilers. There's no such thing as grunge, kids. It never happened. It's not a thing. It's a media lie. Right? There is no such musical genre as grunge. It's really easy to like debunk that fucking conspiracy theory of grunge. Just listen to the kind of the 3 or 4 main grunge bands and see how completely different they sound, and they go, "Oh yeah, so like, how can they all be grunge then?" When they're completely fucking different. Similar philosophies, similar attitudes, similar message. they're trying to get across in lyrics, yes, but musicality, sound, no, completely fucking different. So as a genre of music, no. As a community philosophy, yes, but as a genre of music, no, doesn't exist. Be more accurate if you called it flannel. they had
Oh,
that.
no.
They had that in common. But yeah, take Nirvana, Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, and I don't know, Pearl Jam. And you'll find four ridiculously different bands. You'll find a punk band, a heavy metal band, a 60s style Neil Young rock band, and then Alice in Chains, are kind of a more modern metal, or whatever you'd call it. It's a more straight up metal band of the time, whereas Soundgarden were very much kind of old school metal, even at the time in those early days, anyway. So yeah, so grunge is not a thing, but Nirvana still are. Although sometimes I look around at the world and think it's like Nirvana never happened. For someone who was there was a very particular, simple message of "Don't be an arsehole." There's a famous note that Kurt wrote on the inside of the album cover that just says, "If you're in any way racist, sexist, homophobic, or an asshole, don't buy my records, don't come to my shows, I don't want your money, fuck you." What more can you say? That's how you become the voice of a generation, which you didn't want to be, but
Yeah.
because you say the right thing. Shouldn't need saying, shouldn't need to tell people, don't be racist and sexist. People shouldn't need telling by like a huge celebrity with influence over millions. Like right now, Taylor Swift needs to come out and say that, but she shouldn't have to, and she won't. Um, because you shouldn't have to say it. But then again, you look at the world and think somebody needs to say it because we're not doing it.
Well, as a human race, everyone's just obnoxious. So it's like, no, it's going to be done about it. It's going to carry on and carry on. It's carried on for thousands of years. So it's like, oh, what's really the point? Never going to change, is it? In my opinion,
Well,
never going to change.
we've got to try though. We've got to try though. We've got to be positive. We've got to try. All you can do, kids, all you can do is you do your bit. You don't need to try and push it on other people. You don't need to really try and tell anyone else you should be like this. If you just be like it, just don't be an asshole. Don't be racist. Don't be sexist. Don't be homophobic. Don't be an asshole, and just exude that non-assholeness everywhere you go, and it'll rub off on people. They'll get a little bit on them. They might wipe it off, but some will stick. A little bit will stick, and every time you pass them in your non-asshole way, a little bit more will stick to them. And eventually, and you teach your kids that, and eventually, somewhere down the line, we'll be long gone. We'll be long gone, but eventually, somewhere down the line, we could have a fucking utopia, and that's when we'll get first contact. That's when the aliens will go, "Oh, hey, hi, we've been waiting. We've been dying to say hi for fucking millennia. We could see the potential. We've just been waiting for you to fucking work it out. Well done." That's some people think that anyway. Some people think the reason we haven't been visited by aliens, or at least in any meaningful way, thinking that forgetting about any potential government cover-ups or anything like that. Well, the reason they haven't just landed in full view of everybody, like on the White House lawn, and or whatever, is because we're just trash, and they're just waiting for us to get better. So, seriously, so do it. Be better, because I'm getting old. Be better. Do it quickly. Do it now. I'm getting old, and I want warp drive and teleporters and shit. I'm sick of trains that don't turn up. I just want to get on a teleporter, right? I need this sci-fi shit in my life. Films that I was watching as a kid were telling me it was going to be here. Like, I don't know what it's like now. I think they're a bit more realistic now. Like when they make a film in 2024 and they want to set it like futuristic, they really shoot for like they're like don't mention any dates, or they say it's in like 4226. But when they were making films in like the 70s and 80s, somehow 1999 or like 2001 seemed like the kind of time that we'd have like flying cars and you know crazy good shit, that we wouldn't need farms, there'd be no hunger, no poverty, we'd just like have vending machines that just made whatever you wanted, you know fucking roast dinner, press a button, there it is, materializes in front of you,
Yeah.
you know.
Where the fuck are these at?
Yeah, where
I'm
is
still
it?
waiting.
You know, and where the fuck is it? I'm fast running out of time. If it's going to happen in my lifetime, it better happen fucking soon. So be nice, kids, be nice. So here's the thing: aliens do land, right? Aliens do land in the morning. Aliens land. They don't land on the White House lawn. They land on your lawn. Don't know if you have one, but they they land in your backyard. You, the happy alien, Mel, you get to make first contact. What do you say? You're representing all of humankind.
I don't know, it depends on the situation, but something just popped into my saying nice body. That
Yeah,
just popped into
it's kind of
my
like
head.
I'm going to go really old school, or not too old school, like The Day the Earth Stood Still, not the fucking Will Smith version. No, it's not Will Smith. Keanu Reeves. We all love Canoe, but like, yeah, I think it's Keanu Reeves, is it? The remake, but Day the Earth Stood Still. There's the big fucking UFO in your garden, and there's that light slowly appears as the doorway's opening, and like the ramp comes down, and then the figure appears. He's walking towards you. You're walking towards this alien figure, you and you go, nice
Like,
body.
I don't. Oh,
I think it's
like
a compliment. It's open with a compliment.
but like I said, I think the amount of stuff I come out with, like in my head, just depends on the situation. Watch me have a dream now tonight about it.
Yeah,
and I'll have to tell you.
I mean, perhaps it's like nice body, and the guy thinks, oh no, they're still just superficially obsessed with whether I'm pretty or not. They need to look deeper than that. I'm going, well, come back in another 2,000 years. You're like, no, I'm better than that, honest.
They can't leave me. I'm too seductive, so they can stay. And plus, then again, I live in Rotherham. They might get fucking needles at them.
Oh, I don't know. We can't diss the hometown. It's fantastic.
It's all right.
I don't think many people. I think everybody probably feels the same way. Everybody thinks that the other town is better than theirs, and it's usually not.
It's like with Sheffield. Oh, that place looks awful.
I have issues with that place, but that's that's from the band days. Didn't treat me very nice. I could travel. I could play fucking Glasgow, Edinburgh, Birmingham, Nottingham, Manchester, and it was great. And you kind of come back and you think, let's end the tour with like a hometown show, and that's the worst gig of the last 3 months, where there's nobody there, or the people that are there are just managing to talk to each other louder than you can play, and they're checking their phones. It's just, they're at the bar and they just won't come down to the stage area and shit. And you're like, fuck this place. Because I just had like 500 brummies eating out of the of my hand, and they've never even heard my songs before because it's all original shit, you know? So it's always a bit of a downer playing locally. But,
But still,
that was then.
positive side, getting yourself out there.
Now I do this instead. Much more fulfilling. Let's speak to you. So let's go even further. Let's go one above the aliens, right? You've got one question. You get to meet God, right? You get to meet God and ask her one question because God's a woman. I think we all know that. Spoilers if you didn't, kids. God's a woman.
Grande.
No, God's definitely a woman. I think if you go Old Testament, right, it's all wrath and vengeance. Sounds like a lot of women I know. If you go New Testament, it's all forgiveness. Right? So, kind of extremes can't necessarily make their mind up which one they're going to flip to. It's got to be a woman, possibly a Canadian woman at that. Be with all the forgiveness and niceness of the new version of God. So, Alanis Morissette,
Oh,
But anyway,
it's not going to be Morgan Freeman from Bruce Almighty.
Right. Oh. But anyway, you have one question for God. What do you want to know?
Oh, don't know. I'll probably ask her if I can be with my dogs again,
Oh.
Probably that. I won't ask him any questions because,
so all dogs go to heaven,
yeah.
So
I'll probably see my doggies again. That's probably the main thing.
Oh.
I won't ask him a question because, I'm dead anyway, so it don't really bother me. Just chillax with my dogs.
Oh, that's sweet. That's so sweet. I'd be like, so, duck-billed platypus, what the fuck? Like, pick an animal. What were you smoking that day? As you're creating the universe and making the beings and creatures that inhabit it, seeing as apparently you exist and it's a thing. What the fuck was going on that day?
Smoking too much mushrooms.
Is it a duck or is it a beaver? Right? You can't be both. It is crazy.
Yeah, they all weird, aren't they?
Crazy. They're a mammal, but they lay eggs.
Yeah.
What? Mind blowing. There's enough mind blowing shit right down here on Earth by all accounts. I love sci-fi. I love space. I love real life space stuff. Not much of an astronomer, but I like quantum physics. I like dark matter and shit like that. Fascinates me. But I like the fact that we've weighed the universe and we know the weight of everything that makes up the universe. But the universe is heavier than all the things that are in it. So it means there's something else that we don't know that must make up that missing weight. We call it dark matter because we can't be asked to find out what it actually is. Well, we can be asked, but we just can't find it. What it is that would make the math balance. So there's a search for dark matter constantly out there. I'm always super fucking intrigued by that. Some people think dark matter is made up of the human soul, or maybe doggy souls as well. Could be what that missing weight of the universe is. It's the soul. I don't know. Maybe.
Might be. Maybe we'll never know. Maybe we will know. We don't know.
We don't know. Have you ever seen a UFO?
I can't share any secrets, darling.
Besides when Alan comes to pick you up for a date, obviously, not counting that one.
Oh yeah, let's say another species. Wink, wink. No. Although Although I have seen weird lights in the sky.
Yeah.
Not like helicopters, but like weird lights. And even like people I work with have seen strange lights in the sky. So it's like they're coming for you, dear.
Yeah. So what was that? What was that like? What's that story?
Don't know, like laying in bed one day, looking at the sky, nighttime, and it's like full on like bright light, just go,
Yeah.
and it wasn't like an helicopter because obviously they have different lights,
Yeah.
don't they? Like your red and your green or yellow, what like blinks, but this one like, phew. But yeah, you can't ever like, you never know what it is really, but
Well, that's
people I talked to,
yeah,
people that talked to work said they saw the same thing. These weird bright lights, and it's like if you look at newspaper like reports and like from other people, they've seen the exact same thing, and it's like, why can't spaceships like have rainbow lights or something? You know, something fancy other than just bright white lights.
Yeah.
It's like War of the World. It's like you expect them to look like that. That would be incredibly freaky for me if that actually exists. Like they're coming in from ground. I don't think I would like that, to be honest. But if you're saying a species other than Alan, no.
So, but UFOs. But so do you? Where do you stand on the UFO thing? But I don't want to assume that you're kind of a UFO believer. I guess. I mean, I should cover UFO. It's an unidentified flying object. So that's an object that's flying, and you don't know what it is. That doesn't mean it's an alien spacecraft. It just means it's an object that's flying. You don't know what it is. It could be that some fucking idiot kid from 3 doors down has just thrown a fucking car hubcap. You know, and it's like UFO. Yes, it is technically. When you don't know what it is until you find it and discover what it is, it's a UFO until you identify it, and then it could be anything. I think now, but because there's such a link to aliens, whenever you say UFO, people just assume you mean like alien spacecraft. We've made that link, possibly through media and movies over the years. The official term now is UAP, to try and distance from UFO, so it's not about aliens anymore. If you see these lights or something else and you report it to the authorities, what they write it up as now is a UAP, an unidentified airborne projectile. Just so that, because like UFOs are aliens and UAPs are still UFOs and still could be anything. It means the same fucking thing, but they're just trying to, for some reason, to put our conspiracy hats on, for some reason, the powers that be are trying to move us away from talking about UFOs, because that means we start talking about aliens and start talking about UAPs, which sounds weird. It's a new phrase. We're not used to it. And it always just ends up being some experimental military thing and something perfectly normal that we're just not aware of because we're normal people.
There's got to be aliens and UFO like ships and spaceships, because it's like you look at humans, you look at animals, all different species, you look at insects, you look at humans that are capable of making cars and understanding engineering. Like people actually have the brains for that. And it's like, of course, there's something else out there that actually has that.
I mean, it's a big universe.
It's like,
whether they do you believe they visited us? I mean, I believe like it's a big universe. There's got to be some other intelligent life on some kind of scale, at least similar to our own, if not more advanced or whatever. It's a big place. Seems kind of just the law of averages, simple mathematics, numbers. There's bound to be. Whether they've actually come here or not, whether they've been in my sky or even on my ground, I don't know. I don't know. But obviously they're out there. Whether they've been here, I'm not sure. You think they've had a little look-see on our
And probably
blue marble?
got like you said, disgusted and gone back home. But I hope they haven't come to rob them, because that's probably scared them off. Have you seen state of people that live here? Oh, I would be scared. But there definitely is other species and such other than us that exist. You just like your brain just goes in overthinking, because it's like so many like situations that they do exist or they don't exist. It's like people are like mixed, but it's like, why do you exist then? It's like, why do we all exist right now if other things don't exist?
I mean, the popular theory, we, as we sit here and converse, we are aliens. If anybody's ever noticed, we don't fit as the very famous circle of life. If you look at how the planet works, how every creature interacts with the planet, right? They never eat more than they need. They never procreate and overpopulate. You know, this animal eats this other animal, eats the bigger animal and the bigger animal, and they all like keep each other in check and shit, and everything's groovy. Everybody wins. You know, everybody has to die sometime, but like, you know, everything's in balance, except fucking humans that just breed and breed and breed and breed, that just pollute the water and pollute the air, even though we need it for our very existence, you know, and shit like that. We don't act like a mammal. The mammal that we biologically, that's our label that we've chosen to put on it. But we act more like a virus, the way a virus infects and overtakes the cells in your body. That's the way we seem to be inhabiting this planet, not part of that circle of life that every other being, flora and fauna, takes part in. Where we operate outside of that, like we're not a natural organism of this rock that we're sitting on. Some people think potentially that's from when whatever the collision was that killed Mars, when Mars used to have water and kind of be a planet much like this one, that when that collision happened, those rocks, it's debris from that, bacteria from Mars that fell to our little marble, and that's where we came from. So us Earthlings could actually be Martians, and that's why we don't really fit in. Not that that makes it okay to be killing the fucking planet every day by any means, but it kind of explains why we don't seem to be as connected to Gaia as we should be. Just a theory, not my theory. Can't not take any credit for for that in any way, or any blame or whatever. If you don't,
oh my god,
if you're upset,
write a book. Write a book. That's so deep.
But it's out. It's been around a long time. It's a long-standing theory. Could be, maybe, makes sense. There's a logic. There's a logic to it. Could be right. I mean, we keep trying to go home. We keep trying to do missions to Mars, but
imagine if people could live on like Mars. Oh, that was so bad.
Again, that's supposed to be happening any time now. According to we should have colonized the fucking place at this point. But no, not to be.
All the rich people be on there.
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. It'd be like a mining colony. It'd all just full of fucking like factories and working class. They'd ship the likes of us up to Mars to mine the resources, and the rich people would probably stay here on a like bluer, cleaner planet. They'd actually bother to sort out the global warming and shit, which, shipping millions of sort of working class poor people, billions, off to Mars would help. To be fair, I don't know if I'd want to take one for the team, to be honest, and go, but
I mean, if Noah Sebastian, who's the lead singer of Bad Omens, if he went, I'll be going. I don't care. I'll be straight here.
So I sort of like tangent style about this. So, have you ever seen a ghost?
Yes,
oh.
and
Comfy.
in regards to a ghost, have you ever had? What's that called when you sleep but you're not paralysed?
Oh, all right.
I've had an episode of that once. It was so creepy. I could not move at all. Like, I was wide awake and it felt like someone was like on my back. And I could hear like demon voices as well. And
demon voices?
Yeah. It was like right on my back. I was awake, but I just couldn't move. And I could hear like echoes of voices sound like a demon. And then when I looked it up, it's like sleep paralysis, like how the brain's like awake, but your body's not. And it's like really weird how like demons and all that like come into it. Like obviously you look at the paintings.
Yeah, well,
it's like demons. It's like so creepy. And then with a ghost, I swear one night I saw a little girl on my landing. It was so freaky. And then obviously my mum and my sister seen a ghost. It was an old man with suitcases in this bedroom that I'm in now.
Really?
But I've never seen him. I think I would wee myself if I saw him. Yes, supposedly I don't know if it was my sister's story or my mum's story, that they were in this bedroom and he had suitcases, this ghost, and then he just disappeared. So he probably thought, I ain't living here anymore, I'm off.
Yeah, well, clearly he was off on his hollybobs or something. It's not.
But I do believe in ghosts. Like, they must exist. But
so we say ghosts. So what do you like? What's your definition of a ghost? We're talking like dead human being coming back or not moving on, or some people think when we see a ghost, what we're seeing is like the multiverse. We're seeing like the other version of where we are, with that subtle difference where you don't live there, they do, for however things are different in that universe. That it's just that it's not actually like the dead. It's a multiverse kind of a thing. Some people think that.
I mean, I would like to think of the multiverse option, but I think it's more like dead people that are lost, like the souls like lost in the world. But it's like, I don't know, when people tend to see like people from 1800s in the clothes and all that, it's like, how do you know it's that though? Especially like people who end up knowing the names. And it's like, how can somebody from 1600s be called like Rebecca or something? It's like, their names didn't even exist. It's like if you see it, you're gonna believe it. If you have never seen one, you're not gonna believe it. It's like same way aliens, isn't it? You're not gonna believe it because you haven't seen it. But it's like so many conspiracies, and you have to think like, of course they're real. It's like who you are. It's like you can't just like be dead and gone.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, there's
live on somehow.
There is definitely shit in this world that I do not understand. That I think nobody understands. There's definitely more than just than this. There's something else going on, other layers, in some shape, form, or way. I don't know the words. I don't know if it's magic, if it's parallel universes, if it's spirits, if it's to be more sort of religious or whatever about it. If it's ghosts, if it's the undead, I don't know what it is. I don't, but there's definitely something. Can I say this? My nephew would tell you the story. He was ill a lot when he was younger. Multiple different things. A lot of time in hospital, a lot of time covered in tubes and shit, bad shit. He's lovely now. He's great. Grown ass man with his own kid and everything. So anyway, it all worked out for the best. But there was a time when he was a little bit maybe touch and go or whatever. And during his time in hospital, one of his favorite family members shuffled off. It was informed, it was told and everything, but it was like a couple of weeks later when you visit, he told us in no uncertain terms that said family member was visiting last night. Was sat right there. We talked about this. We talked about that. Like, not in a dream. He was like, he came to see me. I just like not taking any shit, not being weird about it, just like it, because it fucking happened. It's like, but you know it can't. I mean, you know that he's dead. You talk to the doctors like, how much drugs have you got him on? I mean, we want him to get better, but Christ, But he just said, no, it happened. It was a thing. I didn't even really acknowledge it as like a ghost. It was just this person that I know, that I loved, came to tell me everything will be fine. Really, really like made him feel like it's okay, that you can get better and everything will be fine. And he felt really soothed. And lo and behold, he did also get better quite shortly afterwards. So, and I trust the guy. I trust my nephew as much as I trust my nephew as much as I trust anybody. And I'm not going to argue with him. I've sadly not had anything close to an experience like that, or even a guy with a suitcase. I've seen some weird ass shit, I've got to tell you, but not that. But I'm not going to argue.
Especially your nephew was like, he's got no reason to lie either. Like he was so like chill about it. Like I saw this person.
He was awake. He was like, I didn't like wake up. When you've had a fucking dream, however realistic, the most realistic dream you've ever had, and for a second, it takes you a second to kind of come out of it because it's so real. Like, what, and then the real world kind of comes in and hits you in the face, and you're like, oh, it was a dream. Maybe you're glad it was a dream. Depends what kind of dream it was. If it's you and Noah, you're like, fuck. If it's you and me, you're like, oh, thank God. But he was like, no, I wasn't dreaming. I wasn't asleep. He actually felt like I was asleep. I woke up because he came in, and then we sat and had this lovely conversation, and he just held my hand, and, we chatted, and he told me everything would be all right. And it was.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool.
It really is. And it kind of like made a believer out of me. I'm an open-minded soul anyway, but I'm like, yeah, there's something going on. So I don't know if it's not a question that you ask God. If God asks you, is there something you want to do? And he went, I want to go tell my nephew it'll be okay. Like there's paradise and shit. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it. Or like, will he survive? What's your plan for him? Oh, great, powerful one. But yeah, he'll be fine. Can I go tell him? That's 2 questions, motherfucker. But I'll let you off.
Yeah.
Like, I'll let you off because this is important. Go do it. Something like, who knows? But made a believer out of me. although on the other hand, I know someone whose grandparent was really quite sort of spiritual and kind of into this shit, who outright made the promise, if I can come back, I will come back and visit you, and tell you that let you know that I'm okay and everything. No sign of them. So who knows?
Who knows? Just have to, don't know, experience it in a way to believe it. But you've got to go somewhere after death, innit? So something to think about.
Yeah.
Well, I think about it a lot, but yeah, it's just a strange world, isn't it? So many things exist, and so many things that people want things to exist. So
what do you think? Let's just go fucking nuts. We're doing it now. There's no turning back from this. So let's just go fucking nuts. What about let's reel them up, like vampires, werewolves, I don't know, that kind of shit. Are any of those out there in your world? No, no, you don't think
in the
so?
fantasy world, yeah, but not in real life. I don't think, because if you come to think about it, if you look at films and how aggressive they are, it's like we'll be all gone if they existed. Vampires are bleeding dry. Werewolves will all just turn hairy under the full moon. I think.
Sorry. Sorry about that. Carry on. Sorry, I'm listening.
But there is certain people that think. There's certain people that think they are, though, which is really weird.
There are people who will tell you that they are.
Yeah, it's like when you watch them on videos of people who think they're wolves, and it's like, you're one ugly wolf. Or it's like vampires. It's like you get some okay looking vampires, but it's like you can't bite someone because you can get hepatitis C or whatever you call it from biting someone, and it's like you have to be careful as well, because obviously blood disorders and AIDS and stuff like that. So it's like that thinking just solely lives in fantasy, like films and books. It's not a real life thing to believe in, whereas people actually believe they are. Bit cool, but as long as they're not hurting anyone, it's fine.
Yeah, then go for it.
But
go for it. I'm all for self-identification. If you identify as a vampire, like you said, you're not hurting anyone, go for it. Knock yourself out.
You're good as
gold. Why not? Good for you. Good for you. Live your best life and all that.
Yeah. You're just
try and hold back on the murdering.
You're just gonna grow old anyway, so what can you do?
It's a bit of a giveaway. after a good 10 years or so of claiming vampirism, it might start to wear a bit thin on anyone who possibly believed you. I think when this starts happening, you're all grey and fucking wrinkly and not so hot anymore.
I'll just have to get Botox and that and keep my wrinkles in.
Oh, no. Old is good. I like old. Old's good. I like getting old. I don't get old. I get experienced. I level up. It's good. It's fine. It's fine. It really is fine. I don't know how you feel. You're edging closer to like 30s or whatever. These landmark birthdays that we have. Whoever fucking decided that, because all it does is put anxiety and pressure on you, like it's some big deal. Being 18, being 21, being 30, 40, 50. We should really not worry about that. We should celebrate every year as hopefully you've achieved something. Hopefully you've learned something. Hopefully it's been a good year. There are some bad years. If it's been a bad year, celebrate the fact that it's fucking over. And you're good. This next year is going to be a good year. Whether you want to do that like 1st of January, whether you want to go from birthday to birthday, whatever. But celebrate every year. Waiting for these years, hanging over it. Oh my God, I'm 30. Oh my God. Because personally, I don't feel any different at 44 than at 34, than at 24, than at 14. Not really. I'm older, wiser, definitely. But like, you change, you learn things, so you pick up things. You have opinions change, ideas change. Not as much as you might think, but like don't feel old. Don't feel like, oh, I can't do this. Don't feel like I can't listen to Bad Omens. I'm too old. I feel like, yeah, I'm going to listen to Bad Omens, like a lot lately. But like, it's fine. I think I can do that. I don't know if I'd look a bit out of place to turn up at a show. Might be. I don't know if they have an OAP section where they can sit down at the back with like a tartan blanket they could give you, and you could just sit down nice with earplugs and
I need that.
rock out in your old man way. But they probably don't do that. Maybe they should. Maybe they don't
No.
realize just how many old grey fuckers actually like them. Maybe I should let them know.
Maybe I should do a search. See how many old people like him.
Yeah, you'd probably be surprised. I think they're not too dissimilar to a lot of stuff from. I mean, every generation likes to think they kind of invented everything, and usually probably not. Not my generation any more than any other. Um, it was, Nirvana didn't create punk rock. It was, many, many moons before they existed and stuff or whatever. So like, you know, there's lots of music out there really quite similar to like what Bad Omens, Bring Me the Horizon do. You know, it's not new. All that matters is whether it's good. It doesn't have to be new. It doesn't have to be particularly original. Mind, but I mean, I kind of miss that. I kind of miss hearing something and going, "What the fuck is that?" I haven't done that for a long time because it's probably all been done.
Yeah.
But there's still good versions of the things that have been done that are worth finding and listening to, or watching, or looking at. You know, it's Surrealist art has been fucking done. Um, is it really? Is anybody going to be better than Salvador Dali? I mean, unless you think Salvador Dali is just a load of random shit thrown on a canvas. That what the fuck is that? If you don't understand, if you don't like surrealism, it's not for everybody. Some people want to look at a landscape, which I don't get. That's not my thing. I'm like, it's a hill. Your point is, it doesn't work for me.
It's a
Other
beautiful
people love it.
hill.
Yeah, it's a fine looking hill, and I understand. Like if it's like a painting, I understand the technique. Someone had to learn, certain different brush strokes to get it to look like the different textures and shit like that. Or if it's a photograph, I get, the framing, the lighting. I get the skill. I always respect the skill of whatever art. But then there's the personal level of, does it actually appeal to me or do anything for me, And I tend to not like a landscape. Like I'd rather just tell me where it is, and I'd rather try and save up the money and go and have a look for myself, and I'll wait and I'll see that sunset. Just looking at a picture of it, it's like a tease. Like I know it's out there somewhere because it's real, but you know that doesn't tell too much of a story to me. Like portraits, self-portraits, not so much. You'd go a little weird, a little arty with them. You'd show a little side of personality. It's not just a straight up like fucking selfie. Like who cares? You do a portrait with like elf ears and angel wings on or something, and it's like this person's trying to tell me something. I don't know if it's something about themselves or something about the world or there's something, or they're just provoking my interest now because that's not. I can't just go out, to some retail establishment and see this. I can only
No.
I can only see it within the borders of this artwork. So that yeah, that appeals to me.
Oh, definitely. but healthy is. Maybe you should get some.
Maybe I should. Elfies, I think I have some big, fucking pointy, ugly nose, probably.
Well, like a goblin.
Yeah, like a goblin nose, or like a little doggy snout, maybe. Little wet doggy nose, probably. Maybe that got that kind of dog face boy thing going on. I need to. But it's all going soon. It's all got to go quite soon. I have plans.
Oh.
Yes, kids. Heads up. I have plans that involve a lot of makeup.
It's gonna look younger.
No, just uglier.
No, because when you tend to do women, when they tend to do the beards, they look younger than. You're gonna turn into a baby like Benjamin Button.
No, I just look all like haggard, like the real person that's under there and that's been under there for like decades, and held down by terrorist fucking fur, just held hostage by this shit has not aged well. Actually hides a multitude of sins and a face ass. And a face ass which the world does not really need to see. But with the makeup on that I want to do, there's a cosplay thing I want to do. That'll again just hide it in its own way. But somehow there'll be a little period of time before I get made up and after, before this grows back, which won't take long, but there'll be a little period of time when things might look a little bit different on here for a few weeks. But that'll be fun. I'm not saying what it is. I'll let people can guess and speculate. I'll leave them to it. Anybody who knows me or who actually follows the channel, the thing, should be pretty fucking obvious what I'm going to do. But I'm going to do it. I don't know if I can wait for Halloween, because I just want to do it so badly, and Halloween seems so far away. But
it's Halloween every day. You have to wait for Halloween.
Yeah. That's what I could always go to Rotherham. Yeah, but I don't know, like a grown-ass man in Rotherham covered in makeup and fishnet stuff might not be the best idea.
You never know.
No. I'm either gonna like pull more than I ever have, or I'm gonna get the living shit beat out of me within the hour. I think one or the other.
Just make sure you take a taser with you and a knife and and a bodyguard as well.
Are you volunteering for that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Punch them all.
Oh dear. So this has been a weird one. Did we do this or that last time? We didn't, did we? I did the quiz with you. I did
you did the quiz
the alien true or false kind of quiz.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll just. I'm gonna let you go, but I'm gonna do the this or that. I've started doing it with everybody, so you should be no different. So cats or dogs?
Dogs.
See, a lot of dog people. Finding a lot of dog
Although
people.
I do like cats. Like I would love to have a Sphinx cat. Can I choose both?
Well, I mean, I think essentially, we all like both. It's just a bit of fun. I said this before. It's just a bit of fun because it's the internet, and we all know how toxic the internet can be. Right? Just because, like kids, just because she picked dogs doesn't mean she hates cats. She's not a cat hater. Don't be all over the Happy Alien social saying, boycott this woman, she hates cats. I saw her punch a kitten yesterday and shit like that. Don't do that, right? It's not true. It's not an either or. That's an internet exaggeration. Don't be like that. Be nice. It's just a bit of fun. Cats or dogs? Dogs, right? Both. But dogs.
Both.
Pizza.
Both, darling, both.
Pizza or kebab?
Pizza.
Pineapple on pizza?
Disgusting. That's
got to be controversial.
Voting. Whoever invented that.
So, city living or country retreat.
Country retreat.
Again, everybody picks country retreat to the point that if we're all there, it may as well be the fucking city. But
Yes,
you know,
yeah.
but it's just a bit of fun. Just a bit of fun. So, I was going to say, would you rather be a werewolf or a vampire? But I guess you really don't want to be either. But like, if you had to,
Vampire. I wouldn't want to be hairy.
yeah. See, I'm okay with that. It's the living forever thing. I don't think. I think when you like read the books and the movies where you get that character that's like they just want to fucking die. It's like not all it's cracked up to be. All your loved ones have died unless they happen to be immortals too or whatever. But when you see, when you know, you live a life and it's great, but then their life's done and yours goes on and all that. I don't think I could handle that. You know, the dilemma of, you know, like, so do I turn them so that they can be immortal too? But all the things that I'm kind of not digging about being immortal, I don't want to put that on them. Obviously, I'd ask them and I'd make sure it's their choice. You know, they'd have to want to do it, but I feel like I wouldn't be able to trust their choice. Like they'd want to say yes out of love, not out of like realistically making the choice of how awful it could actually be to spend eternity with this, you know? But then you just get bored of each other, you know? Like,
yeah,
it's the finite living for the moment shit that we do in our tiny, insignificant, somewhat little human lives that make it worthwhile. It's that ticking clock that kind of gets you off your ass to do shit that needs doing, you know? Say shit to people that need to hear it and tell them you love them or whatever. They're like, yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. You know, I've got forever. Kind of, I don't know. I'm not really down with that.
but it's like if you choose like, oh, I'm gonna end it, and you go outside and it's sun, and you're like fucking sparkling like Edward Cullen. Like, what's the fucking point then?
Yeah. So okay. So the next slight twist on that is: would you rather date a vampire or a werewolf?
I would do both. Have a bit of mixture, because one day you might want a silky, pale person, and then another day you want a cuddly teddy bear. I'm gonna go with both.
Yeah, but gosh, you can have both.
Yay!
You can have both. Of course, you can have both. Well, you know, the last person I asked that just went, "I'm not shagging a dog." Just like that. It was just no.
No.
That was the first time. Like, you don't necessarily have to shag them. You could live a purely, like, really loving platonic relationship. I don't know. You have to bring that into it. So, you know, it doesn't have to be that way. But if that's important to you, um, well, you know what? It's been a blast. It was last time. It has been again. Always lovely, and we'll do it again, no doubt, at some point. Certainly.
Third time the charm.
Certainly, when you've got some merch to sell, feel free to come on here and sell the shit out of it. I'll be doing my bit. As soon as your post goes up, I'll be sharing the shit out of it. You know that, and we'll get back on here. And we'll do this again. Always a pleasure, never a chore. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, boys who used to be girls, girls who used to be boys, and those of you as yet undecided. I cover all the bases here.
Definitely.
Happy alien
it's
photography.
Me.
Get on the
me.
socials. Give a like, give a follow, give a share. There's some really interesting, cool shit on there. I'm sure you'll find it as fascinating as I do. And to get to know a little bit about the person behind the art is always fun, I think. So I hope you've been entertained, perhaps even educated, or maybe you just think, who the fuck are these two weirdos? Right? Or at least one of them. You know, get rid of hairy one.
We're
The other one's kind of,
beautiful weirdos,
you know,
darlings.
everybody's like, get rid of the hairy one. You know, but it's fine. I am back. I am back next week. But I'm going to let you.
Next week,
I am back next week. I am back next week. That could be a potentially very interesting one next week. The adverts will go up almost as soon as I'm done here for that one. So if you want to know, stay tuned.
Oh, stay tuned.
If you were missing Alien Abduction Club tonight, if that's what you thought you were going to get, we got a bit of Alien, in their own way. They will be here. I fucking promise you, they will be here. Just to clear up any possible confusion with that, Alien Abduction Club is in fact a psychedelic rock band, right? Somewhat unfortunately, I kind of wish they were an actual alien abduction club.
I know.
You know, like a bunch of people that had experiences and they found each other on the internet and they all talk about anal probes and shit and then share their experiences with me. I mean, maybe they are. I haven't really spoke to them too much because I don't want to speak too much before I do it live. I like the instant reaction and gratification that I get from it. But yeah, I mean, maybe they are. Maybe that's how they got together and formed a band. I don't know. We'll find out eventually. That's been pushed back a little bit, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Great band. If you want to go check them out, Alien Abduction Club. Got a couple of singles out, a couple of great videos on YouTube. Some really quite fucking funny videos on YouTube, actually. Go check them out. That's great. But tonight has been all about happy alien photography. So like, share. She'll be back. I'll be back.
Give me attention.
I'll be back next week.
He'll be back next week.
Be back towards the end of the year, if not earlier, with like loads of fucking spam links of things you can buy and get Happy Alien off your phone and into your home.
Oh, that was a good line.
And I'm looking forward to that as much as the next guy. So thank you very much. It really has been a pleasure. I've got to say, I was going to send you this afterwards. Fuck it, I'll do it face to face, live. I was going to say you were here at pretty much the very beginning. You were like episode 2, and what was great is when I started doing this shit, and I don't know if it shows or not, but it's like really out of my comfort zone as much as anybody else that I get on here. But that's why I wanted to do it. See, episode 1 was an old friend I've known for way too long, so it was kind of a nice, comfortable, sort of easy chat. And then for some reason, straight from that, I went straight into someone I don't know, someone whose work I've just randomly found on the internet and been brave enough to reach out, and she was stupid enough to say yes. And we rambled on for like a good 2 hours plus about fuck only knows what. I watched it back looking for clips now. I can't even remember saying half of the shit that we said. I'll probably do the same again with this one. But it was great, and it did wonders for my confidence to be able to do that. Someone was willing to say yes and do it, and then that it went so well and it was so easy. It was so easy to do. You made it so easy. You had plenty to say and were friendly, and it was great, and it helped me immensely that here we are at episode 10, and I've got several more already. Like, I'm booking this shit like April's booked, right? Like the rest of March and April are pretty much like booked up with guests, which I never thought that was going to be a thing, and it's totally a thing. and a big part of that, I've got to say, is thank you. That you were a catalyst, a big confidence booster. Was that episode that we did, which feels like even longer ago than it actually was.
Yeah, it's actually you did it.
But so thank you for that, and thank you for the fantastic work, the art you've been putting out. since then, and keeping in touch with, I had to keep in touch with the people. I don't have anybody on here that I don't genuinely like. Like I said, I'm not here to ride the coattails of anyone to try and get likes and fucking or whatever. I do the research. I check out the music, the artwork, or whatever, and if I like it, I reach out, and here we are. So it's only people I actually like, and if it goes from this like a professional to a personal, and if I can build an actual friendship out of it, at some point we can make a bit of a connection with some of these people, even better, because that's what makes the world go round, kids. So thanks for everything. It's been great.
Thank you for having me. It's been fun.
It certainly has.
It certainly has.
So I'm gonna take my big face away. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna say goodbye to Happy Alien Photography, kids.
Goodbye.
Happy
Bye-bye.
travels, safe travels, whatever you do. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy the rest of the week. Be good, have fun, be creative. Keep in touch.
Bye-bye.
Okay. No, you hang up.
Oh, you hang
No,
up.
you hang up.
You hang up.
Oh, wonderful. I am genuinely hanging up. Happy Alien Photography, Snikt Live. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks, of course, to Happy Alien Photography. Like and share those socials. I'll see you again next week, kids. Bye for now.
Bye.